You're doing it with us, Steph.
Brandon Podziemski just said what we were all thinking, because who else is doing the things Steph Curry just did to the Indiana Pacers?
Oh, Steph 5 for 5!
Yeah, in just one quarter, Steph Curry hit 6 threes on 6 of 6 shooting and finished the game with his third 40-point game in the last 2 weeks, which means he's now averaging 35, 5 and 4 on ridiculous efficiency over his last 8 games. Guys, he turns 36 years old next month. 36. But more importantly than Steph doing Steph things, for the first time all season, it actually feels like the Warriors don't need Steph Curry to do this every night to win. I mean, just look at their recent blowout win against Philadelphia, in which Steph only scored 9 points and Draymond only played 18 minutes. That's because the Warriors are finally starting to look like a team. And dare I say, this is the best vibes I've seen from a Warriors team since the 2021 championship. I mean, just look at the bench reacting to Guy Santos catching this lob from Pods. But it wasn't just Pods throwing lobs. Did you guys know JK had this in his bag? I mean, if JK is going to start hitting in and out crossovers before throwing underhand lobs, we might have to start putting him in GOAT talks as well. But in all seriousness, the combination of Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins has turned this Warriors team into an absolute nightmare for opposition offenses and defenses. Just look at the Warriors' second play of the game against Indiana. The Pacers think they can get away with switching Halliburton onto Kuminga. A couple of jab steps and a dunk later, they realize you don't switch a point guard onto Jonathan Kuminga. In fact, what's even the point of trying to guard him at all? Because this time Kuminga has the ball 30 feet from the basket against Jalen Smith. He crosses right and then just throws it down. And that right there is what JK has done to every single defender teams have thrown his way during 2024. No, I genuinely mean it. Kuminga has been too big and too strong for any smaller defender, but then if you put a stronger or bigger defender on him, he's just way too quick. Look at him on this play. He has the ball out top against Harris. Steph comes to set the screen, which allows JK to get ahead of steam, and from that point on, it's always money. But there was one part of that play that we do need to highlight. This is what people mean when they say the Steph Curry effect. Without touching the ball, his screen forced hesitation from the Sixers, which gave Kuminga all of that space to operate. And what has made this play so effective is if the defense decides not to switch, then JK can kick it to Steph, who's going to knock down the three. Make your choice, a Kuminga drive to the rim or a Steph Curry three-point shot. Clearly teams haven't figured it out yet, because as a duo, Steph Curry and Jonathan Kuminga have scored more points than any other duo over the last 10 games. And you have to give credit to Steph, because we see all the scoring he does, but he's consistently working off the ball to create opportunities for his teammates, and that's what makes him one of the greatest ever. But what has made the Warriors so scary is you were pairing this version of Jonathan Kuminga with the Andrew Wiggins of old, with Wiggs averaging a very efficient 15 and 5 over his last 9 games. And you know what? Forget about the numbers. Wiggs is smiling again, and I think that's a better indication of his confidence than anything. And we all know a confident Andrew Wiggins is a championship level player, particularly when he's defending the way he has recently. Steph initially has the ball deflected by Reed, and look here, not one, not two, but 3 sixes versus just one Andrew Wiggins. Wiggs slides over to Maxey, baiting the pass before then perfectly timing the strip and running away with the ball, which was a crucial play whilst the game was still only separated by just 1 point. It's almost as if the threat of being traded away from the Warriors turned Wiggins back to the Wiggs that helped the Dubs win a championship. I mean, he said it himself. He doesn't want to be anywhere else but in the Bay. But it's not just JK and Wiggs. The Golden State Warriors have a brand new starting 6. Yes, Brandon Podziemski is a part of this starting group, because it is so rare to see a rookie who can so effortlessly fit into any role the team asks from him and thrive. And earlier last week, he compared himself to Draymond Green, which caused a lot of people to laugh, including Steph Curry. But Pods Pods' clarification of that comparison was this.
Can you elaborate? What does that mean? What's a mini Draymond look like?
It just means, we're really here to do whatever the team needs. The grittiness, the passing, the rebounding, the defense.
I mean, look at his game against Memphis, where he recorded 14 assists alongside 0 turnovers, the most assists any rookie has had this year. In fact, prior to the game against Indiana, Pods had gone 4 consecutive games without recording a turnover. For anyone who has followed the Warriors for any number of years, they know having someone that doesn't turn the ball over is an absolute game changer. It's almost like they have Chris Paul 2.0 coming off the bench. But my favorite part about Pods' playmaking is he doesn't need to have the ball in his hands for an extended period of time to make a play. Just like here where Lester passes him the ball, Pods sees Rose rushing at him, so he takes him off the dribble before then wrapping around the pass to Loon for the easy dunk. Or in this play where Steph and Dre run a pick and roll. 2 defenders go to Steph, so Pods immediately moves to the open space before attacking the defender off the bounce, drawing the Grizzlies defense, and then kicking it to JK, who was wide open for 3. The same goes for his scoring. Just look at him on this play fake out D-Rose with the pump fake before then having the ability to absorb the contact, hang, and finish against the much bigger defender. He might not be a super athlete, but he has this incredible knack for scoring close to the basket, and those are the most precious buckets in basketball. Just like on this play, which showcases his intelligence, he has the ball out of bounds. He gives it to Draymond, and he immediately knows the space in behind with Jackson Jr. out on the perimeter, so he makes a sharp back cut and finishes comfortably at the rim. If Pods can get back to shooting like we saw him do earlier in the year, he's not far off being one of the best backup players in the NBA, and I'm not exaggerating. But we can't talk about the Warriors bench without mentioning 2 players in particular. 2 guys that were presented with an opportunity due to injuries over the last couple of weeks. And to say they've capitalized on that opportunity would be an understatement, because Lester Quinones and Guy Santos are the epitome of winning basketball players. I mean, just look at the defense Lester has been playing recently. In the last 4 games, he's guarded Trae Young, Tyrese Maxey, and Tyrese Halliburton, and done a good job on every single one of him. Look at him here against Trae. He initially presses him the whole way up the floor. Okongwu comes to set a screen, which should have been a moving screen, but Lester quickly gets back to his feet to recover back to Trae before then poking the ball away, getting back into his face, and forcing Bogdanovic to heave up a contested 3 late in the shot clock. There's only one other Warriors player I've seen hounds the ball handler as consistently as Lester has done recently, and I think we all know who that player is. Now, he might not have the same kind of active hands that GP2 has, but no disrespect to Gary, he can't come close to doing the things Lester can do offensively. And then there's Guy Santos, who hasn't played the same kind of hounding defense as Lester, but he's forced his way into the rotation by crashing the boards and playing as hard as anyone on the floor. Just look at him on this play. JK has the ball on a post-up. He backs his way in before missing the shot, but look at Guy absolutely sky in to grab the ball out of the hands of 2 Pacers defenders before then reversing it up and in. And that was just one of his 8 boards that he had in 21 minutes, which not only included hustle plays, but if he can knock down 3s like he did in the 4th quarter against Indiana, he is without question an NBA rotation level player.